For this video, I'm going to go through the first tutorial in Adobe Illustrator. To get to Adobe Illustrator, in your dock, it should be at the top right below Chrome. I'm going to click on that and it opens up the start page. There might be a pop-up window and you have to close that. But once you're in Illustrator, the next step is to go under Help and choose Illustrator Help. It's going to pop open a window here that gives you information about the different tutorial options. First thing you want to do is change your screen size so that the tutorial window is not covering over your normal Illustrator window. Next step is to go to Hands-on Tutorials, and you're going to choose the Orientation section. From there, go ahead and choose the very first orientation, hands-on video. Discover how Illustrator artwork is unique. I'm going to click on that and then click Start Tutorial. The tutorial is going to pull up different windows and it'll direct you on steps so you can learn how to work with Adobe Illustrator. The instructions here, this page 1 of 7 says viewing all of the art. We've gathered some other art elements to add to a poster design. Let's take a look. Number 1, from the menus above, choose View Fit All in Window. There's a little icon here. If you don't know what it's talking about, you can choose Show Location, and a blue pop-up window will appear showing you exactly what you need to do. So I'm going to choose View Fit All in Window, and it reorganized everything so you can see it. My window already was correct, so it didn't change anything. The next instructions say you should now be able to see everything in the document. The 2 separate artwork areas you see are called artboards. Artboards are like pages you can use to store and organize related content. So these are the different artboards. So the one here and the one here. I finished this page, so I'm going to click on Next. Selecting an image, page 2 of 7. We searched for a picture of a crab to add to our poster and found a photo of a red crab online. It's a standard JPEG image. Let's try adding it first. Number 1, select the selection tool in the toolbar on the left. Again, you can click on the show location and it shows you where the selection tool is. If the selection tool was already selected, you might have to click on something else and go back to it. So now we're on the selection tool. You can use the selection tool to move, resize, rotate, and more. Click on the question mark is what I just showed you. Number 2, on the left, click and select the image of the red crab labeled Roster Image. Leave it selected in the next section. So I'm going to select this crab here. I'm going to click on Next. And then we're on page 3 of 7, resizing the image to fit. Number 1, drag the selected red crab to the lower left corner of the poster onto the rocks. So I'm going to click on it, drag it down here next to the rocks. Number 2, press the Shift key and drag a corner of the box around the red crab to make it much larger. Release the mouse button and then the Shift key. How does it look? I'll do it first here. So I'm going to hold down Shift, click, and drag the image. How does it look? Notice the edges are jagged. Images like the red crab are called raster images. They're made up of tiny colored squares called pixels. Note that pressing the Shift key will resize, and keeps the proportions, doesn't distort the artwork. You might encounter, I just had a pop-up here. Most of the time you can just do dismiss those. So number 3, to delete the red crab, press delete. It's selected here, so I can click on delete and now it's gone. Next. Exploring artwork created in Illustrator, page 4 of 7. Let's try again with the red crab illustration this time. Number 1, click anywhere on the remaining red crab to select it. From the menu above, choose View, Fit Artboard in the window for a closer look. So again, I selected something here, View, and I'm going to do Fit Artboard in Window, and see how it zooms in on the crab selection. Notice that you only selected part of the crab. It's made up of simpler shapes, curves, and lines like most artwork you'll create in Illustrator. This type of artwork is called vector art. You can select any part of the crab now and move or transform it somehow, something you cannot do with raster art made up of small square pixels. This is one of the superpowers of vector art. Click on one of the crab's claws and drag it closer to his body. So I grabbed a claw there and moved it closer to its body. I'm going to click Next. This is Keeping Artwork Together, page 5 of 7. You can group the components together to make selecting, moving, and modifying the entire crab easier. To select the whole crab, draw across the entire thing. So I'm going to click here, draw a box, and select the whole thing. Look near the bottom of the Properties panel on the right and click the Group button. So here in the Properties panel, here's the Properties, and there's a button that says Group. So click on the Group button. From the menu above, choose Select, Deselect, so the crab is no longer selected. So select, deselect. Click on any part of the crab, and now the entire crab is selected, and you can move or resize it as one. Okay, resizing vector artwork, page 6 of 7. Now you'll position the vector crab and scale it to suit your design. Number 1, choose View, Fit All in Window to see everything. So View, Fit All in Window, and I can see everything. Drag the red crab into the lower left-hand corner of the poster. So I click on it, drag it to the same place as the other one. Now you'll resize the vector crab like you did the raster crab and see the difference. Press the Shift key and drag a corner to make it larger. Release the mouse and then the Shift key. So I'm going to hold down on Shift, click on it, and drag it to make it larger. With vector art, like the red crab illustration, the edges stay smooth at any size, even if it's enlarged to fit the size of a building or reduced to a tiny web icon. To make the crab fit the design better, press Shift and drag a corner to make it smaller proportionally. So Shift, click, and drag. So now it fits right inside the frame. Click on Next. The last one here is page 7 of 7. Practice your skills and resize the whale now that you've learned how impressive vector art can be. From the menu above, choose View, Fit All in Artboards. View, Fit All in Artboards. Click on the blue whale to select it. Press the Shift key and drag a corner of the blue box around the whale to make it bigger. Release the mouse and then the Shift key. So I'm clicking on the whale, holding down Shift, and then expanding it to fill out the frame. And that's the end of the tutorial. For this assignment, when you finish a tutorial, you're going to make a screenshot of the finished result. So to make a screenshot, you hold down Shift Command 4, and then the cursor turns into an X or a crosshair. Then you drag across the image. It will save that to your desktop. And then this is the image here that you can include in your assignment to show that you completed this tutorial.